it, let's see it. When you want it, that's a lie. When you want it non-stop, I'ma give it to you when you want it, that's a lie. I make the man say wow.
Hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside Podcast. I am Joe Panther, the third. And man, oh man, Ringside crew, I am adding another awesome name to my Australian fictional. Well, like every wrestler is gonna get mad at me now. Like, Joe, is there a real Australian Wall of Fame on your wall? You keep pointing up. I'm like, my mom would absolutely obliterate me if I really did have it. I'm like, I'm just saying to my camera, like, I'm gonna focus in on myself at the end of the interview. If anybody would like to send me an 8x10, I could make a real Wall of Fame. My mom would beat me if I like hung pictures on me on the upper part of my room. But less about me, more about you. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to my guest. Introduce yourself to my internationally known audience.
Hello, wrestling fans. My name is Harli Hyde, and I am based out of Perth in lovely Western Australia.
Awesome. As I said before, when we were in the room eating all the snacks, I love Australia. I love everything to do, you guys. I love your wrestling. Like, the ones that I know of Savannah, Izzy Shaw. Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's so many wrestlers, you guys, that have come from Rhea Ripley, mommy. My friend met Rhea, and I was like, I am so jealous. The cosplay Macho Man got her. She let him. She was like, "Can you lift me?" Yes. I would have been like Baby Bjorn. I would have had her hold me like this. Like,
I've met Rhea twice.
Oh, wow. So lucky. Now I'm so jealous of my guest.
No, two of our big players, one of our guys that is the head of our training facility, Damian Slater and Marcus Pitt, originally were from Adelaide, and Rhea, when she was like 13, 14 years old, she was in the crowd with the signs being like, yes, Team DK, Untouchables, let's go. So they know her incredibly well. And when we have our big end of year shows, and especially when WWE came over here for Elimination Chamber and what was the other one? I can't remember it now. What was
it
last
Backlash that was in Australia? Wasn't it Backlash that was in Australia?
Oh, Crown Jewel. Sorry, Crown Jewel.
See,
so naturally, because of all that notoriety that Perth was getting, we were having wrestlers coming from all over the country, all over the world, down to little old Perth. So we have started putting on what we call our super shows. Last year I think we had Rhea there, we had Buddy there, I think Otis was there, Kevin Owens was there, Bailey was there. I can't remember which ones were at which show, but and we had some of the talent coordinators there as well. They were up in our little VIP area. So it's pretty crazy. I don't usually get starstruck by wrestlers much anymore. We even had Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes come to one of our training sessions. It was
Grayson
insane.
Waller. Grayson Waller. Good old Grayson Waller. So for you, where does your timeline start for you with this whole independent wrestling thing? Where does it start for you? Does it start from when you first walked through the doors of the training facility? That moment you sat as a little girl in front of the TV? Like, where does it start for you?
So my introduction to wrestling actually came quite late. I didn't see my first wrestling show, TV show, Raw or SmackDown or anything like that until 2012. So quite late in the game. I'm turning 30 this year, so that shows my age.
Oh dang! Podcast over.
But yeah, I watched. It was just an episode of Raw, and it was the promo between John Cena and The Rock just after Rock had won against CM Punk the title. Actually, no, this must be 2013 now. Very beginning of 2013. Because this was the WrestleMania in New York, New Jersey. So it was Rock and Cena round 2. And it was Rock's promo against John Cena. And that was the first time I'd ever seen anything wrestling wise. Because we didn't have like Foxtel or anything like that. We're down in, not even in Perth. I was living further south than that at the time. So we were in a little old country bumpkin town. So we just had the main like big TV channels, and we didn't have like Foxtel or anything like that. So it started coming on TV, and I was just like, damn, this is really cool. I'm sitting there with my dad, and he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you know that guy, right? And I was like, yeah, that's Dwayne Johnson. And he's like, no, that's The Rock. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what that means. But yeah, when WWE came over here that year, and they performed at RAC Arena, my dad got me tickets for my birthday as a surprise, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. We went to our first show. I think this was after WrestleMania, so Cena had the title, and the match I remember most vividly was Cena versus Ryback in a tables match. So good.
Yeah.
Then the next year after that, they came back as well. By that time, I was in university, so I was already in Perth. And yeah, just as cool second time around. It was awesome. And I kind of just like kept on touch with it, just like over YouTube and stuff like that for a few years. And then 2018, I met this guy, and he was just like, oh, like I do wrestling here in Perth. And I'm like, no way. Like I was just like so fangirling over this guy. And I was like, that's so cool. And he's like, well, I actually have my debut coming up like really soon. Would you like to come as like my +1? At that time, they were called like trainee shows. So it's for the guys that are still in training, haven't quite made it to main shows in terms of like wrestling on a show. This guy was kind of like a lackey for another wrestler we had in the company. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to come. That'd be so awesome. And it's in this same facility where we train now. It's like this little shed in an industrial area, and it was so much fun. I was like sitting front row watching this very interesting show going on. If you ask any EPW wrestler about the Sweet 16 trainee show, they'll just go, oh my god.
No.
But yeah, so we were just kind of back and forth for a couple of years. We'd like lose touch a little bit, and then we'd catch up again. And then I decided to go to my first like big main show. Can't remember exactly which one it was, but it was end of year show, which we call Reawakening. The very first one at the end of the year was Awakening. So EPW started in 2001. So the first end of year show was Awakening, and then every year after that it'd be Reawakening. And I went, and again, the only match I can remember vividly in my mind was the Street Gang Hooligans versus the Plague for the tag team titles in a street fight. And I was just so blown away by this. I was like, I watched this stuff on TV. I watched this stuff on YouTube, and now I'm sitting here live in the crowd. Like, this is amazing. And it was the very start of 2020. We all love 2020.
Good old 2020.
This friend of mine, Jack Edwards is his name here in Perth, his ring name. He was just like, hey, we're having an open day. Why don't you come along? And I was like, I'm not an athletic person by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I'm not cut out for wrestling. I don't think I can do that. He's like, no, just come along. It'll be fun. You get to see, like, I'll be there, and you'll get to see like all these other super cool wrestlers and like have your little fangirl moment. And I'm like, fine, I'll go. And it was a 2-day, like a 2-day program. It was just kind of like an open day. You do a bit of this, you do a bit of that. And I was just like, yeah, but are they going to make me run? And he's like, no, they never make you run. Don't stress. Just bring your shoes just in case you need to get in the ring. And I was like, okay, they're not going to make me run. Get there, take my shoes off, do a bit of stretching. And the head trainer at the time that was there, David Storm, it was just like, okay, everyone get your shoes on, we're going for a run. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not a runner. I was the sort of kid I was the sort of kid in school that would trip myself on the way to the bus so I didn't have to go to a sports day.
Oh no.
Like, I was quite overweight as a kid, and I hated anything to do with physical activity. I hated just walking up my stairs to my bedroom. But anyway, I went to the day one, and we went for a little bit of I would call it a slow jog. And we got back and we did like some cardio based stuff. We did some partner drills. We learned how to, like, what a lock up is. Then we did some rolls and that sort of stuff. I got in my car at the end of that 2-hour session. I was like, I can't move. I can't do this. And he's like, no, it's great. Come back tomorrow and you'll learn how to bump. And I'm like, oh God, impact? So anyway, I went. And it was great. It was fine. Like, everyone was just like so supportive. Like, if you were like falling behind with like cardio, like push-ups or squats or anything like that, they'd be like right there next to you. Like, come on, you can do it. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. And I was just like, you know what? This is actually kind of good. I don't have much of a social. Oh God, my words don't work. I don't have much of a social circle. I'm kind of a loner. I kind of enjoy just having independent me time. And anyway, at the end of the 2 days, like, it took my body like a week or so to like recover from that.
Oh God.
But I said, stuff it. I signed the papers. I paid my first month's training fees. And yeah, that was at the start of 2020. And then I think so that was 18th of February is my WrestleVersary.
Do you remember? Sorry, go on. I'll hit you with my next question after you're done with your sentence.
Yeah, so February 18th is my WrestleVersary, so that's the day I started. That was the day of my open day. So I always have that little like, it's like been so many years. So it took my body about a week to recover, and then I went to my first training session, which was quite interesting, which is where I met my now husband.
Aw. So my next question for you is, when you got your very first match, you got greenlit. What was it like, and did you have gear? That's my favorite question I ask everybody.
So it took me about 3 years to debut. So with our particular training, like way of training, it's very rigorous, and you have to do what's called a grading to be able to go to the next level. We have 3 different levels at EPW in terms of training. So you have your basics or beginners or your fundamentals. So that's where you just learn how to roll. You learn how to bump. You learn how to take your basic moves like your DDTs, your body slams, your sidewalk slams, all that jazz. And when you pass that, you go to what we call intermediate level. I can't remember. Oh, it's technical? Yeah, technical level. We've slightly changed our wording on a few things over the years, which is where you learn your match psychology. You learn your structure. You learn how to do a lot more sequencing. You learn kind of more so the whys of wrestling, not so much the whats. And then you can do a second grading to go to what we call pro or advanced level, which is all you guys that are already on main shows, and they learn like the tiny little like 1%. 1% is it's basically kind of a structure of how to become a main eventer. I haven't quite made it to that level yet. I'm hoping to make it there one day. But yeah, so it's very interesting. So it took me about 3 years to get to the technical advanced intermediate level over something as like tiny as a flip bump. So oh God, I don't remember all the grading curriculum off the top of my head, but the things you have to be able to nail is your basic bumps. So I don't know what the American term for it is. Like, we call it a flip bump, which is like the somersault bump, like when you take something like a toss or something like that. And also we'll call it with a back bump or just your normal bump, and then a front bump, which is landing on your front. It took me so long to be able to get a flip bump because I just have
when you
what is
flip
called,
on your back, I guess.
Yeah, so you flip forwards like a somersault and then you land on your back. So it's like when people like give you like a hip toss or a suplex or anything like that. It's that sort of a bump. Can you get out of my water glass, please?
Thirsty cat.
Fur baby at
Okay.
ringside. Yeah.
Kitty.
Fur baby at ringside.
Hi, Kitty. Welcome. Pew, ew.
That's Nova.
Nova's
My mum
taking
likes to
over.
call her Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. Gotta
Nova
get the
Scotia,
fresh
eh?
Nova Scotia, eh?
Go out back and shoot some moose, eh?
Oh God! Now you're gonna have to get him a little hat, little red hat.
She's very cute. But yeah, so it took me so long to just like master well, not even master, but just be able to nail those basics. And once you kind of get to that intermediate level, that's when you'll start doing like your trainee shows or having more training matches to get greenlit. The way it runs is a little bit different to how it was when I debuted. So now you do your fundamentals, you make it to your intermediate level, you do a trainee show, which is basically not a advertised show like for the public. It's just like friends, family, but it's all gear, lights, entrances, all that jazz to give you that actual experience of being in front of a crowd in your whole getup. And once you make that, you're basically greenlit to go on showcases and wrestle for other promotions in the best capacity that works for you. I didn't actually debut at EPW first, which I always said was going to be a big thing for me because that's the school that trained me. That's the school that brought me up, taught me everything I know. But at the time, there wasn't a spot. There wasn't a spot for me on showcases, which is held out of our training facility, but it's still a paying crowd, still lights, camera, action, gear, everything. But it's in front of a paying crowd. So that's what I kind of call step 2. And then step 3 will be going to like our main shows that are hired out venues with all this amazing stuff. Our brand new home venue for this year is absolutely phenomenal. It's actually a church part-time as well, which says a lot. So that's up at the the Point in Mirawa, which is about, I'd like to say about an hour and 10 minutes north from where I currently am. So it's quite a drive. But they have these big, beautiful LED screens up on a stage. And it's absolutely amazing. When I wrestled on that.
There's a promotion I frequently go to in upstate New York. You should definitely look it up if you're ever on holiday in the United States and you want to look for wrestling to go check out, you and the hubs. It's called Awesome Championship Wrestling.
Another ACW.
Yeah, ACW. ACW.
It's very common. It's a very common triple.
Yeah, and the name, at first, I went to the first show last year was the Rumble. And I was like, really? The name's Awesome Championship Wrestling? I've been doing this last year was 4 years. I've been like this. I'm going to go in here with my little blue coat on with my red glasses and my regular baseball cap on. And I'm going to be like, you have to prove to me you're awesome. The dude is telling you need to prove yourself, saying you're awesome. They're awesome. They have a stage, Titantron. They make they make you a video and like get pyro. Like shows don't have pyro. Like
yeah, we tend to have pyro at our big end of year events. We're not allowed to do that at Miro because the entire venue is carpeted.
Also indoors, the show I go to.
But yeah, the other venue that we usually use, which is if WWE ever come over or our big end of year reawakening shows, usually are held out of Willetton Basketball Stadium. So we actually have carpet that we purchased for this venue because it's obviously a basketball stadium, so it's quite slick. So we come in the night before and we roll out all our big massive lines of carpet, set the ring up. We have a huge lighting rig, whole kit and caboodle, staging, entranceway, lights, pyro. It's quite the affair.
Oh, wow. So where did you come up with this whole persona? Like, where did it come from? Where did it come out of you? Where did you see it? Did someone help you with it?
Yes. So I'm breaking the fourth wall a bit here. My husband, Chadwick Jackson, I'll send a photo to you and you can pop it up here.
Yes.
He is a very interesting, dark character. He has had a few switches with his personality, let's just say, over the few years, but a common thread of him is he is nuts. He is very Joker Bane-esque in his persona. He's very dark, very kind of like, he has periods of time where he's like very cartoonish, like he is very humorous, he's very funny, but at times he can just be very, very dark. And when he decided to change up his original gimmick that he was working with, he was just like, how do I make this darker? And I was like, face paint. So I ended up making a face paint of a stitch scar that went through his mouth and up through his eye and into his hairline. So, and that gimmick just kind of went on from there and there and there. And eventually I was just like, what's the one thing that we don't have on our shows at the moment? We don't have a female heel. We don't have anyone of that sort of dark. We didn't really have anyone of that dark sort of dark kick your mother in the face sort of not even female character, but wrestler in general. Like there was no one that was on the darker side apart from Chadwick Jackson. And I was just like, I reckon I could make a female version of that and take my own spin with it. So I started to develop this persona of Harli Hyde, and I was just like, she's just angry at the world. She's been held down. She's been held back. She doesn't have an outside circle. She doesn't make friends. She doesn't have friends. She doesn't need friends. I'm quite tall compared to every other woman that we have at our company apart from one. And I'm definitely bigger in terms of size comparison as well. So I'm that sort of person that's just like, I don't need to wrestle women. I don't need to wrestle the little girls that we have here. I want to work with big boys. I want to work with people that are going to give me a challenge. And I kind of use that as my base of terms of like, they're not letting me do that. They're not letting me work with who I want to work with. So I'm just going to beat up whoever they put in front of me until I get there.
Oh, wow.
So she's quite dark. Hey, can you two stop fighting, please?
Oh, my God.
Pets at ringside.
Yeah. See what happens? It brings out the fights. New.
Yeah. So ever since we brought our little Ginger into the family, she's kept our 3-year-old very amused.
It sounds horrible. The
Three-year-old
Ginger's
cat,
always
not
fighting.
3-year-old child.
The Ginger's
Sorry?
always going, bitch, I break you. Like,
Yeah. She's very much that. She's a little psycho, but we love her. She's our baby.
we love gingers. Joe, Dudes at Ringside Joe always appreciates his little gingers, beating people up, yelling at it. You know.
I'm a natural ginger.
Love it.
But yeah, so creating the character definitely took its time. I kind of started working on who I wanted to be as a wrestler the second I walked through the door for my first training session. Like I was just, I don't know who to be. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I'm going to be, but I'm going to figure it out along the way. A good friend of mine always said, your wrestling character can be as simple as who you are, personality-wise, dial it up to 11. I'm like, yeah, that's Harli Hyde. I was always very loner. I wasn't a very social person as a child. I was very sheltered. And I was always beat down. I was always picked on. I was always bullied. So I kind of just used that as fuel to build the anger within this character. And that in turn is what ends up usually slipping her up. She gets too aggressive. She gets too overconfident. She gets too cocky. And that's where the slip-ups usually happen, is like I'll miss a move or I'll take too long because I'm taunting someone or whatever might be. And that's where, if I need to lose, that's where the slip-ups happen. Yeah.
So who made your gear that you currently wear?
Funny story. So my original first set of gear was made by an absolutely phenomenal seamstress. She does almost everyone here in the Perth wrestling community. Her name's Dinky Dye.
I love the name.
She is amazing. She comes to every single show that we have. She is this beautiful, beautiful lady. And she created my first set of gear, which was a full bodysuit with like lace sleeves, like overlays, this, that, and the other. I call it my evil Power Ranger suit. I still have it. But after that, like, I just couldn't afford it. Like, Dyers definitely charges under what she's worth. She's absolutely phenomenal, and she should be paid way more for what she manages to do for the wrestling community, because her work is absolutely beautiful. But I just couldn't afford it anymore. My first set of gear started to deteriorate, and I got one more set of gear made by Dye, which was a bodysuit again, but it didn't have long legs, it didn't have sleeves, and it was made with this gorgeous fabric that kind of looked like feathers, and it was just, it was amazing. It was like pleather, but it like had velvet. It's so hard to explain, but it just kind of like from a distance, the way that the material just like was printed looked like feathers. It was gorgeous. So I wore that for about as long as I could, and then eventually the top half started to just stretch out a little bit, and I was like, I don't know if I can wear this anymore. I love it so much though. But I then started turning to like online shops, Temu, Shein, and I started buying bodysuits of my own and then just jazzing them up a little bit. I think I've got about 4 or 5 new sets of gear now that I just get these basic black bodysuits in all different sort of styles and cuts, and then I just bedazzle the crap out of them.
Awesome.
Same with my ring jackets. It's exactly the same. I just buy jackets off like online or Temu is probably my main contributor to all my gear. And boots as well. I just get big long pairs of black lace-up boots off Temu. I've got 2 or 3 pairs, and I kind of just cycle them so that they all don't die at once. And again, rhinestones, fabric, glue, done. I'm a very self-sustained wrestler in terms of everything that goes along with my stuff. I get my own photos done, like unless they're photos from a show. I make all my own trons. I cut my own music. I do my own cut and make my own promos. I do all my hair, my makeup, everything. It's all self-sustained. I enjoy being able to be a part of that process of doing all the stuff myself. So I do my own logos and graphics and all that sort of stuff as well. Yeah, so
That's amazing. I
Definitely
really like that. I find that very noble because a lot of people have to go to the level of using the stupid AI these days, and I'm guilty. The image of the anniversary logo for Dudes at Ringside is sort of AI, but it is AI. But my artist Joe, he actually used
Oh, that's cool.
he that's the AI version of the logo, but like that's what I wanted. That's what I thought of when I was thinking. Okay, black circle, blue lettering, neon blue lettering because I'm an '80s baby, and little red glasses on the bottom because
That's your
what's your
trademark.
what's my trademark? The red glasses. The beard's not the trademark because it's just the stash, the mustache, the stash. He's on vacation. Okay, he's on vacation. It's still cold when we're filming this. It's still gonna be cold in Pennsylvania. So I don't want to get pneumonia. So I keep my beard.
Yeah, it's currently 30. It's currently 37 degrees Celsius here.
You guys go by Celsius. It is right now in the poke your nose. It is -3 degrees outside.
Ooh, I'm gonna see if I can change this to like Fahrenheit.
So if you want to look on your weather, if you want to believe me, I'm in Milford, Pennsylvania. That's where you would find my weather.
There we go.
Extreme cold warning. That's what it says on my phone. My phone right now.
Currently, it is. It says 81 degrees, but feels like 98. Because we get quite a lot of. It is going to get to 98 today. It's that time of the year where it's also very humid and sticky and just gross.
So I have a fun question for you.
Ooh,
Who is the hardest hitter you've ever had to work with?
That is a very easy question to answer. That would be my longtime feud partner, Layla Devine. She is the only other girl that I've ever been able to work with that is of similar size to me or is as close as you can get. She's also got my stature. She's got my height. And we feuded for, I'd love to say close to 18 months at Southern Territory Wrestling over the Australian Women's Championship. And we both have the kind of belief that there's no genders in wrestling. If you're going to hit me, hit me. Don't hit me weak. Don't hold back because I'm a girl. Screw that. Any guy that says, oh, I didn't want to hurt you because you're a girl, I would literally just like chop.
Oh, done. Wham.
Just eat it. I was like, if I'm going to hit you, you got to be welcome to hit me back. And because, again, breaking fourth wall, outside of wrestling, we are very good friends. The girls in Perth wrestling have really built a beautiful little community amongst ourselves. Like, majority of the longer timers like myself and Layla Devine, we have wrestling daughters. I've got 2.
Aw.
So they're like the younger generation that are coming in that kind of just need that extra, let someone just to be like, it's okay, like get back in there, go, like a dance mum sort of thing.
You
So we
fell, got
both-
up, your knees are skid, get in the ring, keep going.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. So one of my wrestling daughters, her name's Mia. She's like this tiny little, like close to like 5 feet tall, like tiny little skinny thing. And I'm just like, don't get in there, go, shoot, go. She's like, I don't want to. And I'm like, well, you are, go.
I'm 5'1", I'd be 1 foot, 1 inch taller than her.
Pets at ringside.
Yeah, they're back. Kitty's back. No more. 5 seconds, fame. See you later. Pew. We're just checking. He's like, just see if there's any American females that are looking for a new best friend. Oh, just kidding. Nope, I like it here. They give me food every day.
Too much.
He's telling the world, see, I'm not skinny.
And now she's climbed into my box of dirty laundry. Cool.
Oh no.
But yeah, Layla Devine is definitely one of the hardest hitters I've ever worked with. We are just, because we work so closely together for such a long time, we're happy to just clobber each other. Like when we work with other people, we have to make sure we're a bit more safe. Not saying that we're unsafe with each other, but to pull that emotion out of each other, sometimes that's just where we have to go. And because we are such close companions, it's like we're never hurting each other. It's just what we call stiff. We see there's a difference between stiff and snug. So snug is where you're placing it in the perfect spot, but you can add a little bit more force to it. Stiff is where you're just fucking throwing it. Oh, sorry.
You can curse, you're good, you're good.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
I forgot to mention that yesterday on the Instaphone. This podcast is not sponsored. This podcast has been around for 5 years. Interviewed so many wrestlers, interviewed kids of wrestlers. I live in my small town in Milford, PA. Everybody knows me. I asked the news, told them about what I am and who I am and what I am, personal and intellectual disability. I book, I promote, I do all of this by myself now. 3 years ago, there was another guy, but and he told me this, and it breaks my heart even more every time I say it. He says, the measure of politics, no one's going to want to hear that story.
Yeah. Well, cool. Fuck it all then. But yeah, because we work so closely with each other for such a long time, we know that we can be a little bit more aggressive with each other and a little bit more stiff with each other because it's okay. Like, we don't apologize to each other for that sort of stuff. It's the way of the world. Like, we wanted to make this feud look aggressive. We wanted to make it look like it was literally going to be a fight to the death. I'm currently sitting on my bed. This is my bed head. No, upside. Right.
The cat's like, what are you doing, Mom? Are you trying to get in with him for a fight?
So this is Raven. So she's
Hi,
our
Raven.
little, like, there she is. So we've got a black, we've got a white, and we've got a ginger. Got a whole Aristocats trio. I was very happy with
Raven's tail's like, I think Raven's getting nervous because I see the tail going whoop, 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 whoop.
that. It's because of this one.
Yeah.
She likes playing with her. She's got her zoomies. But yeah, so she's definitely the hardest hitter I've ever come across. So
I don't think I've ever encountered her on the podcast. And I get nervous because I do message people a lot, and then I'll leave them a message, and I'll just throw it to my general, and I'll forget. And I had a thing that at the end of last year, I deleted I deleted over 135 messages, just that it would never answered. And then sometimes they change their promo picture, so I'm like, ooh, someone new. Now I have a new thing. I go into the theme, like I changed your theme to a raven with a crown on. I don't know if you saw that.
yeah.
Yes, and I was like, okay, I need to theme this just in case this awesome lady doesn't get back to me, or doesn't get back to me for like a year later, and then I message her again. You're like, you already messaged me. That's what I got used to get. I'm like, I'm sorry. But
no, like, I actually really respect that. Like, I love it when people are just like, hey, what's up? Can we do this? Because, like, the worst thing you're ever going to hear is no. Like,
I'm
it's
technically saying I'm free publicity. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
I got laughed at if last. I'm not going to say names. I can't even remember the name of the female wrestler, but she literally said, "I said I'm free publicity," and she goes, "You can keep your free publicity."
Ugh. It
Mm.
is what it is. Like, some people are just like, meh, nah, I just want to stick with my way of doing things. And like, props to them. But especially for like the younger generation that is wanting to build connections, is wanting to get their name out further across the pond, like, wrestling is all about connections. Like, you can't just expect to go into wrestling and make it as an individual. Like, you need people around you, you need connections to be able to grow and expand out. I never would have been able to go to Melbourne or to go to Brisbane if it hadn't been for wrestling with a certain company and working with a certain person. You know, I've
Yeah.
wrestled girls from nearly every state in Australia except for Northern Territory and Tasmania. I've
Mm.
wrestled someone from every other state.
Here
And
we go.
And like,
Um,
building those connections is how like we got over to Melbourne last year. It was insane. Like, I've never been to Melbourne before. Not only was it a holiday, but I got to wrestle with a brand new company that I've never worked with before, and found some old friends, made some new friends, and it was awesome.
Awesome. So you said you worked with Savannah Summers, like
I haven't worked with Savannah Summers. The very first show that Southern Territory Wrestling put on, she was in a match for the Australian Women's Championship against Delta, better now known as Zaria. And Zaria won the match. So I actually just got to kind of meet Savannah afterwards, because she was very good friends with one of my very good friends, Michelle K. Hasluck, one of Australia's original women's wrestlers. So again, those connections that I have with people of the slightly like prior generations of wrestling, getting to meet other people that are very influential. It's crazy how the web of wrestling works. Like, you can ting one little web part over here, and it's just like, whoop, 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 all these other people just start filtering in. It's crazy. But no, Savannah was so sweet. She was so lovely. And like, I'm so happy to see where her life has taken her now. Like, she's a mom now.
Yeah.
So cute.
she's such a good person. I love Savannah. I always wear her T-shirt, and like people know my dad. My dad doesn't watch wrestling; he watches it through me, as I say, watches it through my eyes and my. He's like, I don't need to watch a podcast. I've lived through it.
I love it.
I live it. Like, you're in it and you're talking about it every day, and I'm like, how am I supposed to promote a show if I'm not talking about it? Like, ugh, like whatever, Dad. But I asked this to a British wrestler earlier in the year. What does it feel like to be on an American podcast, be able to talk about wrestling, the thing we love the most, like on a global platform?
I find it very interesting because Australia has its own style of wrestling. Like, Australia has its own niches. America has something different. England has something different. New Zealand has something different. Japan's got something completely different. Like, I just find it really awesome to be able to pick up little tips and tricks and like ways that people do things from other parts of the world. We've just recently started doing some lucha classes at our facility, and it's just like everything is so different. And I'm like, oh my God, how do these people like do this sort of thing? So to be able to discuss all that sort of stuff with someone that is completely different I find it really awesome, because you might just pick up little bits and pieces that you didn't even think about when you're over on this side of the pond.
Awesome. My second to last question for you. If my fans want to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
Alrighty. So probably the easiest way to find me is on Instagram. I'm going to pull it up because I'm terrible at remembering stuff. I've got like 4 different Instagram accounts.
Oh my gosh.
Like my worker account, my personal account, my cat's account.
Aw. Send me your cats. I want to follow the cats.
So my Instagram is all lowercase, is Harli_Hyde_PW.
Awesome.
I also am on Facebook as well, just at Harli Hyde. But yeah,
Awesome,
so
Harley.
I
Sorry, go on.
no, I don't even know where that sentence was going. Caffeine.
My last question for you is: if you could write a letter to a younger version of you, what would it say?
Stop stealing lollies out of your mum's shop. No, in all honesty, I would tell my younger self to get involved in wrestling sooner. Obviously, like originally I'm from about an hour and a half south of where I currently am, which is completely out of the big city. There is no wrestling there whatsoever, like at all. But when I graduated high school and went to uni, I came here to Perth to get my teaching degree. And I would say to my younger self, watch wrestling, get as much information as you can, so that once you go to Perth, find somewhere, get involved in it sooner. Because honestly, I really feel like it would have been such a good way to get myself more social while still being at university. So, and who knows where I could be now had I started an extra 5 years prior.
Kitty's got the tail.
Yeah. You being a menace?
Uh,
Yes.
uh.
Yeah. The other one's hiding somewhere.
Harley, I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Oh, jeez. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
No, absolutely my pleasure.
Definitely please tell your friends and tell your husband. Definitely we gotta set a date that he can come on Dudes at Ringside
Absolutely.
at some point this year. Because we have plenty of year that we could record, and there's so much we could talk about. Don't forget, I see that thing on the bottom of the screen, how it says like, subscribe, and share. When you watch this video, if you're watching this because of Harley's friends, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and comment. I'm here for the party with me and Harley. But I want to thank you so much. I am Joe Panther the Third,
I am Harli Hyde.
and we will catch you in the next one.